Japanese Kawaii culture, while rooted in anti-establishment youth protests during the 1970s, has grown to affect modern trends in music, fashion, and consumption both domestically in Japan and worldwide. A culture of kawaii had completely taken over Japan by the 1980s, infecting all aspects of pop culture with a childlike sweetness. Bright colors and bubbly aesthetics across all forms of goods and services filled the youth of Japan with an insatiable thirst to become kawaii. By the 90s, more than 70% of young people in Japan favored people who look kawaii. The word kawaii was even thought to be the most popular word in the Japanese language at the time. Though believed by many to find its roots in multimedia, the modern kawaii culture emerged from the anti-establishment rebellion in Japanese youth, particularly teenage women in the 1970s. By using mechanical pencils to write stylized, rounded katakana in English characters, young Japanese students rejected rules and expectations placed on them by the adult world. Through use of Marui-ji, the childlike writing style officially dubbed anomalous female teenage handwriting by scholar Yamane Kazuma, Japanese youth were rebelling against traditional Japanese culture and identifying with European culture. The music industry quickly adopted kawaii culture. Increasingly, Japanese pop stars can be seen using and sharing kawaii language, mannerisms, and stylistic choices. Stars such as Sakai Noriko began trends of infantilizing the Japanese language, changing words like happy and sad into cuter variations in the kawaii speech, ureshi becoming urepi, and kanashi becoming kanapi. From this subculture, international superstars were born. Artists such as Kyari Pamyu Pamyu were born in the waves of the kawaii culture boom in the 80s and embody kawaii across the world. Kyari, thought to be worth upwards of $10 million, famous for her lyrics featuring quintessentially cute vocabulary and themes, as well as her colorful, undeniably kawaii fashion, has amassed millions of fans worldwide. A hallmark of kawaii in both music and popular culture is its striking fashion. Featuring combinations of pastels and outlandish colors with plenty of accessories, kawaii fashion is not a new trend. In the early 1980s, Tokyo design house Pink House Limited was so popular that a fashion movement even formed around it. Evolving into many different subcultures since its inception, kawaii fashion's popularity is continuing to grow. Sebastian Masuda, the art director for Kyari Pamyu Pamyu's global breakout Pon Pon Pon, as well as the iconic kawaii boutique 6% Doki Doki, states that, although he believes kawaii culture is a way to create feelings of elation, to incite joy and discover your very own small universe that's off limits to the rest of the world, he recognizes the joy it brings people around the world. From Kyari's breakout popularity, his niche in the kawaii scene has grown exponentially, giving him a global stage to share the kawaii culture through his guiding principle: the future is colorful. Though kawaii culture is a means of self-expression, since its inception, kawaii culture has been inherently consumerist. Pushed by the Japanese government's $500 million Cool Japan initiative, the consumption of kawaii culture is exploding worldwide. As an effort to exert soft power, the Japanese government is now officially backing the export of artists like Kyari and kawaii culture in general. Described in Christine Yano's Wink on Pink, soft power is the ability to indirectly influence behavior or interests through cultural or ideological means, and is particularly relevant during Japan's modern economic and social challenges. Some experts believe that the Cool Japan-backed export of kawaii has been cleaned of its Japanese-ness, deeming it culturally odorless, which they theorize may be responsible for its enormous corporate success abroad. However, scholar Rachel Donito says that her American students often tell her they feel their own popular culture is tired, while Japanese popular culture offers possibilities and alternatives that they find more appealing. It's a way for them to reject or resist American popular culture. It is perhaps ironic that other cultures are embracing something intended to inherently reject Japanese culture as Japanese. However, kawaii culture has very clearly affected global music, fashion, and consumption in general. It has brought people together in a very unique way. Without a doubt, cuteness conquers all.